going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got more on Jerry Jones, man. But this time, Ryan Clark, if you didn't see him on Get Up yesterday, we about to get into it right now. Ryan Clark has articulated this whole Jerry Jones fiasco the best I've heard it yet. A lot of people have been tiptoeing around it, and you know, they don't want to lose that relationship. People on his network, on ESPN. But Ryan Clark, he touched on literally every point that I think is valid, man. So we're going to go through this together. Check this out.
Jerry Jones was growing up in the 50s in Arkansas, where segregation wasn't the anomaly. Segregation was the norm. Prejudice was the norm. Racism was the norm. So then you have to say to yourself, but is this Jerry Jones's foundation? Has Jerry Jones grown from this foundation?
Good opener. That's exactly what most of us have been saying. We're ready to concede that that was just how it was in Arkansas back in that time. You know, it's not a pretty point in history. We still see the remnants of that throughout America to this present day. But when he said we need to find out if Jerry Jones has evolved from that, that's the only reason we're questioning any of this. And I think that's why people are missing it. Like, it's valid. Like, people like Stephen A. Smith saying that he doesn't deserve this. We're just trying to make sure that he's not still on that same stuff. But Ryan hits a lot of points. We're going to keep going.
I didn't envy his position in the sense that he has to talk about his owner. He has to stay on the right side of that. This is an owner who's only had 2 black defensive coordinators throughout his tenure on the team. I think that lasted 3 or 4 years. He's never had a black offensive coordinator. He's never had a black head coach. We've never been in a conversation that a black head coach was close to getting a job in Dallas. When they were interviewing for Mike McCarthy's hire, Mike McCarthy stayed at his house when he was on his interview, and I think also the black candidate, who I believe was Marvin Lewis, did not stay at his house.
So what Ryan Clark said right there in the end was very critical, because do you guys remember what Dak Prescott said?
And how times have changed. I mean, look at the man's resume since then, right? And as I said, I give grace. As I said, I wouldn't be here if it was still that way. So I believe in grace and change. And
Dak, I hope you heard what Ryan Clark just said, man. He gave you several examples why we are questioning Jerry Jones. You know, his foundation is racism. There is no way around that. We know that right off the bat. But his evolution as a human being, does he still think that way? You suggested that you wouldn't even be on the team if he did. Ryan Clark just gave you examples with coaches, coordinators, several professionals within the NFL not getting a fair shake with Jerry Jones. So what you said has no validity, my dude.
Right, there's a difference there. Also, think about 2016, 2017, 2018. Jerry Jones said that any protest throughout the game is a disrespect of the American flag. It's a disrespect of the country. He will not have a player be a part of those protests. And when he was finally forced to allow his team to protest, he hijacked it, right? He made it something that was about Jerry Jones. He made it something that was about America. But that wasn't what was being talked about. It was about police brutality. It was about the way that black Americans are being treated differently from white Americans, and differently as far as the way that they're talked to, and the way that they're policed, and the way that they're legislated, and the way that they're treated in the courts. All those things were different, but Jerry Jones wouldn't allow his players to talk about that. There were people who had issues with Dak Prescott because Jerry Jones said, no, not on my team.
So we all remember that. It's only 4 or 5 years ago, right? And Jerry Jones is still showing signs of potential racism. He was curious about what the mob was doing at his school, right? Why wasn't he curious to see what the protest was? He shot that straight down. He gathered enough information about that. He gathered what he thought was enough information about that to just say, no, I just won't be a part of it, right? So do you think, I mean, okay, you're going to say an 80-year-old man, 14-year-old boy, whatever, right? But we already know his coaches and everybody said don't go out there. So he had the information about that, and he still chose to go out there. So he wasn't even curious to see what the protest was about, or to accurately assess what they were bringing light to. He just shot it down, no, because of a flag, because of a symbolic item. You see where the hypocrisy is? He wasn't curious then, so again, I call BS on that, Jerry.
Now see, that's where it comes into play. That's where the picture matters, because you can grow from your foundation. You can learn new things, and playing players that make you rich doesn't make you not racist. Playing players that make you rich doesn't mean that you don't have prejudice toward them. And all Jerry Jones has shown throughout his career is that a black man will not elevate past team scout or a past player scout in the executive office, because then you have too much authority. Then you have too big of a voice. I don't know that that picture says Jerry Jones is a racist. That picture does say that racism is a foundation of who Jerry Jones is. And that should make you look at his track record as an owner. And his track record as an owner definitely says he isn't pushing for diversity, and diversity certainly isn't something that matters to Jerry Jones. It could be that the only color that matters to him is green, but he ain't not taking black over green in no way.
Ryan Clark said it all right there, man. Playing players that make you rich doesn't show that you're not prejudiced. And that's what Dak Prescott and Michael Irvin were both missing. And it's people like them that allow this conversation to go unchecked. You know, it can just be water under the bridge and it can go away. And I think that's dangerous for it to just go away before we actually hear Jerry denounce it. Because if he wanted to denounce it, he could just do it real fast, get it over with right off the bat. But just deflecting, that was a long time ago, and your behavior is still consistent with that of old. I think it's time that you concede that, or this could be a turning point in history. You know, even though you're 80 and you're probably stuck in your ways at this point, it would be a great, great thing for you to just self-reflect, look in the mirror, see what we're saying. So you're moving this way because it has gone unchecked for so long. In my opinion, you had the former student come out and say you were lying about the whole thing, about how it went down. Y'all were privy to the information before even staging a protest, so you were a part of the mob. That's clear cut. Okay, you were 14. What does 80-year-old Jerry do now, though? So, I mean, Jerry, that don't really impress us, brother. We got to see more work. We got to see more action. We got to see more change before we can just start giving you a pass and put that in your past. Your present looks a whole lot like your past, and I think that's everyone in this comment section, everyone that's calling you out about this, I think that's their biggest concern. You're a billionaire, you're insulated with your income. So, and you're insulated by those like Dak Prescott, Michael Irvin, Stephen A. Smith. Those type of people insulate you because they're like, hey, look, he's our friend. We look like y'all. So I think that's dangerous what they're doing too. They should check you about it, and they should allow you to be checked. You can answer for yourself. You're a grown 80-year-old man. You got fans of all ethnicities all over the world. You're known as America's team. So I think you owe it to people to show them where you stand in 2022, man. That's all I got to say. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.